Hello, fellow clear-mind enjoyers. I hope you're having a great holiday season. I know my channel has been a bit quiet lately since I haven't been having much fun in Master Duel right now, but boy oh boy, Konami decided to give me a huge present. They actually gave Synchrons decent support, and I absolutely love it. They essentially fixed everything I disliked about the structured deck. I complained about why we didn't have an emergency teleport equivalent. Well, that's fixed. And the best part? This engine is brickless. I complained that the normal summon was weak as hell and didn't provide any form of protection for speeder. Fixed. I complained that we were running too many bricks. Goddamn, Konami fixed that too. Gone are the days where we're forced to run Chick, Rumble, Illumination, and Trail. Goddamn, I'm so happy about that. From what I've heard through some leaks, Yusei is still missing 2 cards from the protagonist collection, but I'm not sure how trustworthy that information is. Today, I'll show you the latest developments and how we can protect our speeder better than ever before. The opponent is no longer allowed to simply wait for speeder to hit the field and hand trap it, and I'll explain why in the combo section. For now, let's cover the most important cards that were revealed. The first one is Assault Sonic Warrior. He has 3 really good effects. The first is his special summon condition: if we control Junk Warrior, Assault Mode activate, or more importantly, any card that mentions them, we can special summon this guy. On summon, he searches any Synchron monster, which is absolutely huge for us. His third effect is also well designed. If he's used as Synchro material, he gives all monsters 500 extra ATK for the turn. While that isn't super relevant on its own, the ability to provide a chain block is massive, and that's exactly how Synchron support should be designed. That's how you do an ATK boost properly. This is arguably the best card Konami has given us, but what does it actually accomplish? It's both a starter and an extender, and more importantly, when used as an extender, it isn't tied to Synchro Fellows, which is huge. Before this, our extenders were Stardust Synchron, Synchro Fellows, and Tuning, all of which were either tied to or were Synchro Fellows. That made pushing plays very difficult, and sometimes straight up impossible. His existence allows Fullspeed Warrior to get into Zarin and Signal in just 5 summons. That means we get 2 forms of protection off a single resolved card. And last but not least, he mentions Assault Mode activate, which is insanely important. This lets us run Emergency Teleport completely brickless, because Psi-Reflector becomes just as strong of a normal summon as Fullspeed Warrior. Between that and the field spell that searches Sonic and lets him special summon himself at the same time, everything finally comes together. Overall, he's the missing piece that ties the entire engine together. Oh, and he's also the reason we can cut Sonic Chick while still keeping Stardust Synchron as a 1-card starter. Up next is the previously mentioned Junk Signal. People went absolutely crazy over this card, but it's not quite as good as it was hyped up to be. Don't get me wrong, it is good, just for different reasons. First, let's cover its effects and what they actually accomplish. The first effect allows us to tribute any monster on the field to special summon a Junk Warrior, Stardust Dragon, or any card that mentions them from the hand, GY, or deck. That effect is incredibly huge. But what does it really accomplish? It lets us cut bricks in the form of Rumble, Illumination, and Trail, and it lets us dodge interruptions like Imperm on our starter. Why I think it's correct to cut Illumination and Rumble is something I'll explain later in the deck profile. The second effect is a form of protection. If a card or effect is activated in response to a Synchro monster's effect, we can activate Junk Signal to negate that activation. That's also an extremely strong effect. So why do I think this card isn't that insane and isn't a mandatory 3 of? Again, put the forks and torches down and let me explain. I absolutely see reasons to run this at 3, I personally run it at 2. When we look at Junk Signal in the context of a starter, we still need something on the field first. Ideally, it's a disrupted starter, which makes Junk Signal a great extender. The problem comes up when we draw it without a starter. Sure, it can still start a combo with any card that can be normal summoned, like Fuelos, for example, but the issue is that we effectively go -1 to Ash Blossom, which is something I really want to avoid. The reason behind my chosen ratio will be explained in the deck profile section, so stay tuned, the reasoning is actually pretty cool. The last card I want to talk about is Crimson Dragon Quetzalcoatl. He's also part of the reason we're allowed to cut down on Illumination, Trail, and Rumble. His first effect triggers on Synchro Summon, letting us essentially soul charge any Synchro Dragon from the GY. This means we're allowed to use our endboard pieces, Zarin, Crystal Wing, Pater, and Shooting Majestic, as material during our combo, which is absolutely massive. His second effect is a nice bonus. If a monster effect is activated, we can shuffle a Synchro Dragon from the GY back into the extra deck to negate that monster effect. This gives us extra recursion and another layer of interaction. I feel like I forgot something. Well, I guess if I forgot it, it wasn't important. But for real, the new Stardust Dragon is cool, but right now it isn't worth discussing, since it's basically just a worse Zarin. Now that we're done discussing the new cards, let's move on to the new and improved Pure Synchron list, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's actually competent. First things first, I don't think Synchrons will be meta. The card design is inherently too flawed. Even though the deck is strong, it still has a non-negligible number of weaknesses. I'd place it around Blue Eyes level in terms of competitive viability. But without further ado, let's cover the deck. Our Synchron lineup consists of 2 Stardust Synchron, 2 Junk Synchron, 1 Assault Synchron, 1 Scrap Synchron, 1 Jet Synchron. So why these ratios? 2 Stardust Synchron feel absolutely mandatory. We cycle through him during our main combos before Speeder, and we also want a level for Tuner to summon off Speeder. 2 is the absolute minimum. Stardust Synchron isn't a bad card to draw, he's both a starter and an extender, but as a starter, he's fairly weak, and we'd rather not be forced into him. 2 Junk Synchron aren't mandatory, 1 is technically enough for everything we need, but honestly, I really like summoning him off Speeder, and he isn't bad to draw into against Droll. 1 Assault Synchron is self-explanatory, we'll never need more than 1. The level 1 lineup is very interesting in my opinion, and I do think we need at least 2 level 1 tuners to combo properly. I've seen people run 2 Scrap Synchron, but I decided to go with 1 Scrap and 1 Jet Synchron instead. While Scrap Synchron is better when drawn, Jet Synchron massively outperforms when summoned off Speeder. He adds a ton of flexibility when solving combo issues and gets us into Junk Meister, which means more non-tuner bodies or access to a second Junk signal during our combo. Let's now cover the support cards, and let me tell you, they're absolutely bonkers. We start with our best card, Junk Snake Eye Ash, Junk Meister. This is our best starter. He's perfectly designed around the current support and Synchrons as a whole. Meister has everything, an easy-to-fulfill special summon condition, just reveal Junk Warrior, Stardust Dragon, or any card that mentions them from your extra deck, and that's it. Then, like the Snake Eye Ash that he is, he searches a Junk card. His third effect is surprisingly good as well, he can reduce the level of any Junk monster on the field by 2. The reason I call him Snake Eye Ash is because his counterpart, Junk Armor, is basically Snake Eye Poplar. If Armor gets added to the hand, he can special summon himself. Then, with a Lone Fire style effect, he can tribute himself to summon any Synchron or Junk monster from the deck. The best part? Armor isn't a brick either. He gets us into either Stardust Synchron or Junk Meister, and both of those can lead into Junk Signal and then into Junk Speeder. If you summon Stardust Synchron, you basically just follow the standard Stardust line. The Meister line is a bit different, and I'll show that in the combo section. Overall, this package is a 10/10. I absolutely love having a brickless engine. Next, let's talk about the Assault engine. First, we have Emergency Teleport. Simple card, summons a level 3 or lower Psychic from the deck, and we're summoning Psi-Reflector. Most people know Psi-Reflector from an extremely bricky engine involving Assault Mode Activate and Assault Beast, but not this time. For us, he's perfect as is. He doesn't need any of that extra stuff, he just searches Assault Sonic Warrior, and that's more than enough. Speaking of which, we currently run 1 Assault Sonic Warrior, whose effects I already discussed earlier. The reason we only run one is the existence of the new Assault Mode field spell. The use case is simple: we activate it, search either Psi-Reflector or Sonic Warrior, and then do our combo. Everything else on the field spell is basically irrelevant for us. So why do I run one Sonic Warrior and one field spell? It's simple: I'd rather start with the field spell than hard open Sonic, and I also wanted to hit the 15 one-card starter threshold. That said, I can definitely see a world where running 2 Sonic Warriors is correct. Another upside of Emergency Teleport is that it can be used in the draw phase to play around Droll, giving us more room to operate under it. Now it's Fullspeed Warrior time. He's basically a Stratos on normal summon. He searches any spell or trap that mentions Junk Warrior. His ATK boost is irrelevant. Full Speed is now a decent starter that leads to a double protected speeder, which is a huge improvement for the card. So why do we run him at 2 instead of 3? As mentioned earlier, during deck building you don't want too many normal summons. Both Psi-Reflector and Full Speed Warrior compete for the normal summon, and we can mitigate that by reducing Full Speed to 2, or even 1. This also leads us to reducing the number of Synchro Fellows. You might ask, Echo, the card is broken. It searches 2 cards and gives you a normal summon, why aren't you running more? Fellows is a good card, but it's highly searchable, and as a starter it's honestly not that great. If the opponent interacts with Fellows, your follow-up also becomes much more limited. There are arguments for running more, like better plays into Droll or stronger 2-card combos with Meister, but overall, I think Fellows is best as a one-off for now. Next up is Reinforcement of the Army. This card searches a ton for us. It can grab Junk Meister if we want our best starter, or Junk Armor if we want a strong extender. Of course, it can also search Junk Synchron or Full Speed Warrior, but those are lower priority targets. Finally, let's talk about Junk Signal. I initially started testing with just one Junk Signal. You can call me crazy, but I already explained my reasoning earlier. It's cool, and it provides protection, but I really don't like the idea of just drawing it. Even though it is technically a starter, it's a pretty bad one. Then someone pointed out something I hadn't considered: Junk Signal and Zarin together can stop Dark Ruler no more, and they also help against Droplet. That means we now have protection against one of the deck's biggest weaknesses. Since we also use Signal during our main combos, either as an extender or as protection, we need access to a second copy. Thankfully, we're basically always able to get that second Signal during our combo. That's why I settled on 2 copies. That's basically it for the main deck. I don't like giving concrete recommendations for non-engine cards, because by the time this deck becomes playable, the meta will probably have shifted quite a bit. That will naturally change which hand traps and non-engine cards are optimal. Just fill the deck up to 40 to 42 cards with non-engine. With the main deck covered, let's move on to the extremely tight extra deck. Before you ask where Herald is, at the time of recording this video, it's widely expected that Herald will receive a ban. Because of that, I designed the combos to function without it. And to be honest, I'm not even sure I prefer Herald Protection over the Zarin plus Junk Signal Protection package. If Herald does stay legal, it should absolutely be included, and it will most likely take the spot of Nightwing Priestess. But for now, let's move on. We'll start with Starham. He's a very cool and versatile card that mainly helps us play under Droll. On summon, he revives one of the materials used for him as a tuner. Then, by discarding 2 additional cards, we can revive him directly from the deck. Yes, it's very resource intensive, but it's still better than having no options at all. Next is Scrap Warrior. He's surprisingly important, since he's relatively easy to access and comes up in almost every line. He searches any Junk Warrior related card, and he also prevents Warrior cards from being negated. This interaction is especially relevant when Junk Synchron summons Full Speed Warrior. Accel Synchron is also important for Droll scenarios, but outside of that he's mainly a solid extender. I can definitely see a world where we end up cutting him, though. Then there's Junk Speeder, the heart and soul of the deck. This card is basically Halqifibrax times 5. If Speeder resolves, it summons all of our Synchron straight from the deck. The next card I've mentioned a lot already, Zarin. He's essentially an Omninegate as long as a chain is formed. The interaction is a bit complicated, but he can either negate the chain link directly before him or one chain link after. With Junk Signal, we can consistently create these scenarios. However, he cannot negate if only a single card is activated on its own. Next is the original Stardust Dragon. He's mostly here to enable Etele Synchro Stardust Dragon, though sometimes he actually sneaks his way onto the end board. Speaking of Etele Synchro Stardust Dragon, on summon, he revives a level 2 or lower tuner from the GY. Then, as a quick effect, he can tribute himself to special summon a Stardust Dragon from the extra deck and immediately perform a Synchro summon using any monster on our field. The resulting Synchro monster is unaffected by card effects. At this point, he's mostly used as an extender. The unaffected lines are either inaccessible or too inefficient to be worth going for. Nightwing Priestess is the card most likely to be dropped. Right now, she's mainly there for the Junk Meister line. There are lines without her, but they're very discard heavy, which I don't like. Her main job is to summon Psi-Reflector from the deck, which then searches Assault Sonic Warrior. The last of the level 8 synchros is Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. He's our monster negate and can also beat over towers style monsters like Liger Dancer. For level 9, we currently only run Wolfgrounds. He's mainly a monster we summon with Etele Synchro Stardust Dragon during the opponent's turn if we get Fuel Lost. I'm not fully satisfied with this solution yet. Cards I've considered include the new Hypernova, which is incredibly strong but also fairly fragile to access, and even TG Hyper Librarian as a fun option. Some players are straight up ignoring Fuel Loss and just trying to end on a full board. Personally, I'm not fully satisfied with any of these options yet. Our only level 10 synchro is Dis Pater. Pater is an important inclusion, even without hand looping through Omega. He smooths out access to the new Crimson Dragon and remains a respectable piece of disruption. Duration provides either a face-up monster pop or a back row pop. It's not perfect, but it's still a respectable level 11. His main purpose, though, is to act as a target for Crimson Dragon, allowing us to summon Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. On a soft once per turn, Shooting Majestic Star Dragon can negate anything and then banish that target. He also has an ignition effect that permanently negates a monster, and his third effect lets him attack additional times equal to the number of Stardust Dragon monsters in the GY. Overall, he's a fun, powerful, and beautiful card. I already covered the new Crimson Dragon, so I won't explain him again. The old Crimson Dragon is simply here to cheat out Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. With the extra deck covered, let me share some secret techs that are worth considering. My personal recommendation is Silvera to improve the going second scenario. She's relatively easy to access and has real potential as a board breaker thanks to her Book of Eclipse-like effect. Other interesting cards to consider are Satellite Warrior and Chaos Angel. Both have their own use cases, but overall, I think including them comes down to personal preference. This wraps up the deck profile section. Without further ado, let's move on to the combo section. Today, I'll be showing you 10 new combos that, at the time of recording, nobody has showcased on YouTube yet. We're starting with Junk Meister, arguably our best starter. We begin by revealing any applicable card in the extra deck to special summon Junk Meister. He then searches Junk Armor, which immediately triggers Armor's special summon condition. Junk Armor can then tribute himself to summon Stardust Synchron, which in turn gives us Synchro Fellows. Because we still haven't used our normal summon at this point, we can always pivot into Junk Speeder and properly react to whatever interaction the opponent might throw at us. Next, we special summon Nightwing Priestess. This is summon number 4, meaning we still don't have to worry about Nibiru yet. By discarding any card, we special summon Psi-Reflector, which searches Assault Sonic Warrior. At this stage, Nibiru is no longer a concern. We can transition into a small combo to make Scrap Warrior, which lets us grab Junk Signal. Now we use Synchro Fellows, and before committing to our normal summon, we reduce Nightwing's level to go into Crystal Wing. Without even using our normal summon, we've already established 2 forms of protection, which is absolutely insane for this deck. With the established protection in place, we can now safely go for our first normal summon. We normal summon Junk Synchron, reviving Fullspeed Warrior that we previously searched and discarded for Synchro Fellows. Fullspeed's effect is not negated thanks to Scrap Warrior being on the field, and he searches us our second Junk signal. Now we commit into Junk Speeder. Speeder resolves and summons Assault Synchron, Junk Synchron, and Stardust Synchron from the deck. From here, we can branch into whatever combo line or end board piece we want. For the sake of the video, though, I'll be aiming for the same standardized end board for every combo so it's easier to compare the lines. Reviving a level 1 tuner with Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon is very important here, as we need it for a later summon. What's crucial is that we go into Dissipator without using Excel Stardust's effect. We don't need the unaffected clause, and we specifically want Assault Synchron in the GY. This setup allows Stardust Synchron to tribute Dissipator without losing board presence. Since Assault Synchron is banished in the process, we can then activate Dissipator's effect to bring Assault Synchron back. Next, we clean up the board by synchro summoning Duration using Zaran and Stardust Synchron. After that, Dissipator can synchro summon into Crimson Dragon using Assault Synchron. This gives us the setup for shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Finally, shooting Majestic Star Dragon and Scrap Synchron can be used to synchro summon the new Crimson Dragon. And he soul charges into a full board that has a Dark Ruler no more protection. Now let's look at our second best line, Emergency Teleport. We start by activating Emergency Teleport in the draw phase to play a round droll. We summon Psi-Reflector, which searches Assault Sonic Warrior. During the main phase, we special summon Assault Sonic Warrior and use his effect to search a Synchron. Our choice here is Scrap Synchron. This lets us go straight into Scrap Warrior, which represents the first real choke point of the deck. However, we still haven't committed to our normal summon, which means we have plenty of cards left to extend with. Scrap Warrior searches Synchro Fellows, which in turn add Stardust Synchron and Junk Synchron to our hand. If we want to preserve our normal summon, we can discard Stardust Synchron here. In this line, though, we commit to our first normal summon with Stardust Synchron to search Junk Signal. We now make Zaran as our fifth summon, and together with Psi-Reflector, we synchro summon Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Next, we use the GY effect of Synchro Fellows to reduce Crystal Wing's level, which allows us to perform our second normal summon. Of course, we use it on Junk Synchron, which lets us go straight into Junk Speeder. Once Speeder resolves, we go into the regular Stardust Dragon, since we don't need Excel Stardust's revive effect in this line. We then immediately synchro summon Dissipator. We activate Junk Signal targeting Dissipator, which triggers Assault Synchron to bring Dissipator back and revive Stardust Dragon. From here, the line mirrors the first combo. Dissipator brings back Assault Synchron, but this time Dissipator goes into Duration with Jet Synchron, triggering Jet Synchron to add Junk Meister. Next, Stardust Synchron and Stardust Dragon synchro summon Crimson Dragon, which then summons Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Finally, we special summon Junk Meister, search a second copy of Junk Signal, and reduce Meister's level by 1 to synchro summon the new Crimson Dragon. He then soul charges for our full field and we yet again pass on a full board with a Dark Ruler no more protection. To stay in line with the Assault engine, let's look at what happens when we hard open Psi-Reflector. We start by normal summoning Psi-Reflector, using his effect to search Assault Sonic Warrior. From here, the combo proceeds very similarly to the Emergency Teleport line, all the way up to the resolution of Synchro Fellows. The key difference comes at that point. Since we no longer have a leftover normal summon, we discard Stardust Synchron for Synchro Fellows instead of holding it. Stardust Synchron then activates his GY effect, tributing Psi-Reflector to search Junk Signal. This immediately lets us transition into Zaran on Summon 5. Next, we use Synchro Fellows to reduce Zaran's level, which enables the second normal summon granted by Fellows. We use that normal summon on Junk Synchron, and from there we go straight into Junk Speeder. After Speeder resolves, the first thing we do is synchro summon Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon to get Assault Synchron into the GY. Then, we summon Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, reviving Assault Synchron, and use those to synchro summon Dissipator. Just like in the previous lines, we activate Junk Signal targeting Dissipator. This revives Etele Synchro Stardust Dragon and triggers Assault Synchron to bring Dissipator back as well. After Dissipator brings back Assault Synchron, we Synchro Summon Duration using Jet Synchron and Dissipator, which triggers Jet Synchron to add Junk Meister to our hand. Finally, Stardust Synchron and Stardust Dragon Synchro Summon Crimson Dragon, which then summons Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. We special summon Junk Meister, reduce its level by 2, and use it to Synchro Summon the new Crimson Dragon. Once again, we end on the same standardized end board as the previous combos. As you can see, Psi-Reflector is definitely not a brick, and if we really wanted to save a card in hand we could have gone for the same line in the emergency teleport line. Alright, it's time to cover the Assault Mode Field Spell line, which is honestly our third best starter. We're not running more copies of it because, in the end, all of these lines basically represent one push of Assault Sonic Warrior. We start by activating the Assault Mode Field Spell and use it to search Assault Sonic Warrior. Thanks to the field spell, we're allowed to special summon Sonic Warrior directly from the hand. As usual, Sonic searches Scrap Synchron. Scrap Synchron lets us go into Scrap Warrior, which searches Synchro Fellows. Synchro Fellows then add Stardust Synchron and Junk Synchron. Since we've saved our normal summon in this line, we now use it on Stardust Synchron to search Junk Signal, and then we Synchro summon Zaran. Next, Synchro Fellows reduces Zaran's level, which enables the second normal summon. We use that normal summon on Junk Synchron, and that gives us the good old Junk Speeder line. From here, the post-speeder sequence is identical to the previous combos, so I'll speed it up for the sake of pacing. Now let me show you the last card I currently consider a good starter, Fullspeed Warrior. Since, for whatever reason, Fullspeed Warrior doesn't have a special summon condition, we're always normal summoning him when he's our starter. This gives us access to Synchro Fellows, but this time we search for Scrap Synchron and Junk Synchron. We discard a different card from our hand and then go into Scrap Warrior. Scrap Warrior searches Assault Sonic Warrior, and Sonic is now allowed to special summon himself, letting us search Stardust Synchron. Stardust Synchron then tributes Assault Sonic Warrior to search Junk Signal, and as usual we Synchro summon into Zaran. We use the GY effect of Synchro Fellows to reduce Zaran's level, and from this point on, you already know the combo line, so I'll speed it up here, because it's literally the same sequence once again. The next combo lines are getting into the suboptimal starter territory. These lines only give us one layer of protection and aren't particularly good into Nibiru, which is why we're trying to minimize this part of the deck. Fortunately, the vast majority of the deck consists of strong starters. And let's be honest, even this is still way better than what Synchrons had access to before, so I'll gladly take this as a fat W. We start with Assault Sonic Warrior. He searches Scrap Synchron, and we then Synchro summon Scrap Warrior to search Synchro Fellows. Synchro Fellows adds Fullspeed Warrior and Junk Synchron. Next, we use Synchro Fellows GY effect to gain the additional normal summon. We normal summon Junk Synchron, reviving Fullspeed Warrior. Since Scrap Warrior is already on the field, Fullspeed's effect resolves without being negated. From here, we go into Junk Speeder with only one layer of protection, namely Junk Signal. And honestly, that's not that bad. To reach a similar end board to our other lines, we have to climb through Starham here. This gives us the levels we need to access Zarin and Crystal Wing. This also triggers an early Junk Meister search. Stardust and Starham have the perfect levels to get us into Zarin, and the revived Jet Synchron gives us Crystal Wing. After that, we use Junk Synchron and Junk Speeder to go into Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Next, we Synchro summon Dissipator, and as usual, we activate Junk Signal targeting Dissipator. This triggers Assault Synchron and revives Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. We then revive Assault Synchron with Dissipator and Synchro Summon Duration. From here we can bring Junk Meister into the rotation. The sequence changes slightly at this point. We use Junk Meister to search Junk Armor, allowing us to summon another Stardust Synchron from the deck. This lets us change Meister's level to 2 and Synchro Summon the old Crimson Dragon, which then brings out Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. After that, we Synchro Summon the new Crimson Dragon using Stardust Synchron and Crystal Wing, once again ending on the same standardized end board, after the use of the Soul Charge effect of Quetzalcoatl. For the sake of simplicity, let's now look at essentially the same starter as Assault Sonic Warrior, Synchro Fellows. The line is literally the same, just with a slightly different sequence at the beginning. We don't cycle through Fullspeed Warrior in this version, but after Speeder, the combo proceeds exactly the same way. Because of that, I won't comment on it in detail here, we'll just speed through this combo to keep the video shorter and maintain pacing. The last 3 combos use Junk Signal as a combo piece, not as a form of protection. First, let's look at the Junk Armor combo line. We start by normal summoning Junk Armor and activating his effect to special summon Junk Meister. Junk Meister searches Junk Signal, which immediately lets us convert into our combo. We send Junk Meister to the GY with Junk Signal to special summon Fullspeed Warrior. Fullspeed Warrior then gets us into Synchro Fellows, and Synchro Fellows gives us access to Scrap Synchron and Junk Synchron. This allows us to Synchro summon Scrap Warrior, which searches Assault Sonic Warrior. Sonic Warrior can then special summon himself to search Stardust Synchron. We tribute Assault Sonic Warrior for Stardust Synchron and Synchro summon into Zarin. We do our usual line with Fellows target Zarin to reduce the level and get one more normal summon. So we can normal summon Junk Synchron to get into Junk Speeder. Similar to the earlier lines, we then go into Crystal Wing using Zarin and Assault Synchron, and after that we're allowed to Synchro summon Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. If we've made it this far, it's very likely the opponent is out of hand traps, which means we can afford to play a bit looser here. Remember, our goal is still the same unbreakable end board. From here, we use Crystal Wing to Synchro summon Dissipator. We don't activate Dissipator's effect and instead go straight into Duration. Stardust Synchron and Stardust Dragon then Synchro summon the old Crimson Dragon. Next, we revive Jet Synchron using its own effect and use Jet Synchron together with Shooting Majestic Star Dragon to Synchro summon the new Crimson Dragon, once again ending on the same ceiling end board as before. The next line is very similar in terms of fragility, but it's still worth showing. This is the new one-card Stardust Synchron line. We start by normal summoning Stardust Synchron and using his effect to search Junk Signal. Junk Signal then allows us to summon Fullspeed Warrior and he searches Synchro Fellows, which adds Scrap Synchron and Junk Synchron to our hand. From there, we Synchro Summon Scrap Warrior to search Assault Sonic Warrior. Sonic Warrior is now allowed to special summon himself. We don't actually need anything specific from his search here, but to give the opponent the illusion of interaction, and honestly because it's slightly better, we search Assault Synchron. Next, we tribute Assault Sonic Warrior for Stardust Synchron's effect, which sets up the usual Zaran line. We then use Synchro Fellows in the GY to reduce Zaran's level, and as usual we normal summon Junk Synchron to revive Assault Sonic Warrior. Now we go into Junk Speeder. Since we haven't used Sonic Warrior's ATK boost yet, we can chain block Speeder with Sonic, making this line a bit more protected than it looks. After Speeder resolves, we special summon Assault Synchron from the hand to Synchro Summon Crystal Wing, and then we go into Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, reviving Assault Synchron. At this point, the opponent definitely doesn't have Nibiru anymore, so we Synchro Summon Dissipator using Crystal Wing. With Excel Stardust's effect, we then Synchro Summon Crimson Dragon, which triggers Assault Synchron to revive Excel Stardust. Dissipator revives Assault Synchron, and after that we go into Duration, which triggers Jet Synchron to search Junk Armor. Junk Armor gives us access to Junk Meister, and Junk Meister searches Junk Signal. Finally, we reduce Meister's level by 2 and Synchro Summon the new Crimson Dragon for the usual Soul Charge effect, once again ending on the same unbreakable end board. Now we're getting to the last combo of the video. We're already close to 40 minutes, so I won't be showing lines where the opponent interacts with us. I'll save that for a different video or maybe some shorts. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer, or if you want both. So, why do I like this line the least? Not only are we starting with a suboptimal starter, but it also sacrifices a hand trap, which hurts twice as much if the line gets stopped. We begin by normal summoning any monster, then tributing it with Junk Signal to special summon Fullspeed Warrior. Fullspeed searches Synchro Fellows, and Fellows add Scrap Synchron and Junk Synchron. Next, we Synchro summon Scrap Warrior to gain access to Assault Sonic Warrior. Sonic Warrior searches Stardust Synchron, and we then special summon Stardust Synchron by tributing Sonic Warrior. Stardust Synchron searches us an additional copy of Junk Signal. As you can see, this once again sets up the Zaran line. We use Synchro Fellows to target Zaran, reducing its level and gaining an additional normal summon. We normal summon Junk Synchron, revive Assault Sonic Warrior from the GY, and then Synchro summon Junk Speeder. Once Junk Speeder resolves, we Synchro summon Crystal Wing using Zaran and Assault Synchron, and then go into Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Excel Stardust revives Assault Synchron, and since we're assuming the opponent has no interaction left, we Synchro summon Dissipator. This time, Dissipator revives Stardust Synchron, and we immediately Synchro summon Duration, triggering Jet Synchron to search Junk Meister. Next, we Synchro summon Crimson Dragon, which brings out Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. We then activate Junk Meister's effect to special summon himself and search Junk Armor. Junk Armor tributes itself to special summon a second Junk Meister. With 2 Junk Meisters and Stardust Synchron, we Synchro summon the new Crimson Dragon, using its Soul Charged style effect to once again end on the same unbreakable end board. I hope you guys enjoyed the new Synchron combos and also liked the direction I took with them. If you did, I'd really appreciate a like on the video, and if possible, I'd love to see you join as a new subscriber. We're getting close to becoming an army of 1K Clearmind enjoyers. For this video, I also want to give a big thank you to the Wolfgrounds Discord server, run by 037 Wolf. If you have any Synchron related questions for the TCG, this is the place to go. You'll find the link in the description.